My name's Ayla Meikle. I currently work for Lampro Limited, so it's an environmental consultancy business located down here in Cromwell. I guess the reason why I came to using resolution and using it in collaboration with Charlie was through the farm environmental planning process. It became a really useful tool for us to be able to collaborate. So for me to collect some information based on what Charlie and the team were doing on farm and where things are at, but also loading in some of our actions that dropped out of the plan. So yeah, the power of using a platform like Resolution to collaborate is the ability to actually see like how the farmer is actually putting their data into a system. So say if we were recording actions in a different system that might be useful for us at Lampro, it might actually not be that useful for the farmer and they might not actually see that information. So it's a lot more meaningful to be able to actually collaborate through a platform that the farmer's using every day and is able to just easily update when things have been completed and or see when some things are due. So it's definitely been a really powerful tool for that. A huge chunk of the clients that I've been working with, especially going through the New Zealand Farm Assurance Plus program, that heavy load of recording and storing information, being prepared for audits, a system like Resolution is so helpful for that. So yeah, we've actually seen a lot of clients sign up when they're getting to that point of having to prepare for an audit, because it is a process or a platform to be able to enable them to actually have that information easily available. For like a rural professional to come in and get a real idea of what's happening on farm like that, I was saying a photo is worth 1,000 words. So like that actually is really useful. And especially when you come to talk about like, winter grazing, one of the big things that we want to make sure people are doing are taking photos of, before you go in the paddock and while they're grazing it and then afterwards. And so like can't stress that enough, like to any farmer, that keeping those records is so important. And even records of your feed, your fertilizer, your crop and stock, like that's just more and more in the future when we're going to have to start thinking about how we prove like what the farmer's been capable of and what our nutrient losses are and stuff. It's actually that's really important to have like those records stored in there. So one of the features that's really useful for the rural professional and with the farmer is just using the tasks function. So here at Patearoa, we loaded in quite a number of our key actions that were part of the farm environmental plan. So we put them in the tasks function. We can have the location of where it needs to happen, a reminder date, and even details of what actually needs to be done. And then Charlie's gone in and ticked those off and then created a new record based on that task. So it's just been a really good way to connect what needs to be done, and that's also that keeping it live thing. So keeping those actions relevant, showing that they've been completed, and then setting up for next year. My biggest piece of advice would definitely be like spend the time setting up your tags, really clearly, probably is a big thing. So same saying that we've sort of already brought up, like what quality information you put in, quality you get out. So part of that is also knowing how to find it. The specifics of the naming doesn't matter as long as you know what it means. And also your rural professional and farm team can easily, collaborate on that as well. Know what different things mean and where they're stored. Anytime that you're engaging rural professionals in your farm business, you almost want to, it's part of your business planning really, isn't it? And so sitting down and actually, hey, this is what we're thinking, this is the skeleton of how we're going to set it up. Does that fit for what everyone needs? And then go ahead and rip and do it. We're on it